Welcome to Nebraska Preps Postgame with your hosts, Mike Sautter and Jacob Padilla.
Okay, everyone, we're back for another episode of Nebraska Preps Postgame. Mike Sautter, Jacob Padilla. We are going to recap the state football championship games. Maybe talk a little basketball because that's starting this week, and we'll do that maybe towards the end. But let's look back at the high school football season as a whole. 1, 2, maybe just those games that were played in Lincoln, what would have been last week, 6 or 7 days ago now, which by the time we're recording this. So that's nothing, wrong with that. But let's start in Class A, West Side. I mean, they're obviously the talk of high school football now. And that game, they were certainly dominant. It played out how I think we kind of all thought it might.
Yeah.
There was a small chance that Elkhorn South would have had to play extremely perfect, and they didn't. And
pick six on the first drive. That was to go up 14-0 at that point. It's like, yep, that's probably But that was kind of the signal. Like, this probably isn't going to be close. And I mean, credit to Elkhorn South for getting there, but honestly, I don't know that it would have been dramatically different, no matter who would have been in that spot with the way that Westside has played this year. Yeah. So finished off 13-0. They
643-46.
They
gave up 46 points the whole year.
It's 49.5 to 3.5 per game there.
That's incredible.
So 200-6 in the playoffs. And that 6 was at the third quarter of the first playoff game.
Yeah.
And they shut everybody else out after that. They held Elkhorn South to 109 total yards and forced 4 turnovers, 2 picks and 2 fumbles. It just domination. Like Westside just put an exclamation point on a fantastic historic season. Anthony Rizak,
21 of 25
for 259 yards, a pick. He had a touchdown. He had 2 picks, but both were kind of fluky plays. Just
not his fault.
Couple of weird plays there, but also had 2 rushing touchdowns. So Jamez Ross, 19 carries, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, just fantastic season for him. Caleb Benning, 82 yards receiving, touchdown and a pick.
It felt like he was going to have 12 catches again in that first half. Like there was one drive, maybe their second offensive drive, where he caught like three balls in a row, and they were just like 6-yard outs. And I was like, oh, here we go again. He's going to have 12 and 111 and a touchdown or something.
Well, and this is a credit to Rizak too, and just how good they are. It seems like they had different drives. Like, all right, time to get this guy his. Yeah. All right, time to get this guy his. Like they had different drives where we're targeting this guy over and over again, get him his touches. All right, now we'll go over here, get this guy involved. We got a bunch of different guys catches there, and got a few different guys carries. Teddy Rizak had 12 tackles, a pass breakup, and a couple of hit sticks.
See him it was good. It was really good to see him kind of show what he's capable of, because he's been a little dinged up and, in and out a little bit and not, full go, I guess, the whole year. And that game he came with it. And it was good to see.
Yeah. And Christian Jones had he had the pick 6, 30 yards, picked it off, ran it right back to the end zone right away. Also had 2 catches, 47 yards. So just a lot of different guys making a big impact in that one. Scary moment. Madden Riggs got knocked out of the game there, just got absolutely sandwiched between 2 defenders.
Thing.
Yeah, they carded him out, thankfully. Dad tweet out, he's okay. It was all precaution.
It was pretty, Whenever they take the helmet off, like off, it's more
immobilizing.
It's more of a precaution thing. So but he did get laid out.
Yeah, it was about 10-minute stoppage there, and then they had to go back out and play. It was kind of a scary moment down there.
It was over before that, but it was definitely over there.
Yeah. So had to finish out the game, but just fantastic season from Westside.
Jamez Ross had 8 100-yard rushing games out of the 13.
Yeah, he And I remember talking to Damon
1,500 yards.
At the start of the year. It's like, hey,
different cat.
Different. Yeah, he's not messing around this year, and credit to him because he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was great. So Westside wins. They go down as they're definitely, without a question, in the conversation of one of the best teams ever. You're never gonna have everyone agree that this was the best team ever because you just
so many factors. Yeah. Hard to compare eras.
Hard to compare from 1985 to now. Football changed so much in that time frame. It's hard.
Yeah, in terms of like sheer number of Power 5 commits, recruits, this isn't. I'm sure there are others that have topped this one, but like every single dude that stepped on the field for them could play at the next level in some fashion. They played so well together. The thing about them is like you can succeed one play, 2 plays. It's really hard to win for 3 straight plays against them on either side of the ball. And that's really what it came down to, is like you just can't sustain drives and you can't get them off the field. And it's been that way all season. They just have so many impact players in every facet of the game. And I haven't seen the Omaha North and Bellevue West that people talk about. 14 and that recent Bellevue West team. Yeah,
Bellevue West 19 team gave up 63 points. They also scored, I think it was 20 more points than what this Westside team did. So it's kind of
almost, essentially a wash in terms of
that North
margin.
Team running clocked everyone in the playoffs. So did Westside.
Yeah. So like those are the 2 that I've actually seen. I'm
03 Miller North is another one in this conversation.
I was 11 at that point, so I couldn't tell you much about that one or anything. Prep. Yeah,
there was like a Norfolk team. Norfolk when they won in 91, 92, something like around that era was good too. That people were trying to talk you into. So. Yeah.
But in terms of just sheer domination, separation from the competition, the Westside team is as good as I've seen.
Yeah,
and again, that's the most impressive part of it is they've got dudes like, but it's not like they're just more talented. They just got a bunch of D1 recruits all over the place at every position. No, it's a really well coached team. They execute really, really well. They play so well together. And they stayed motivated the entire game in, game out. They found a way to put that chip on their shoulder, they manufactured some motivation throughout the season, found a way to avoid the slip up that they had last year, and they just killed everybody.
So their stars were better-ish than everyone else's stars. But also their second guys, like their role player guys, were so much better than everyone else's role player guys.
A dude like Bo Ryan, who isn't
going to be. Like you look at their defensive line, like
Jonquil Osler, RJ Ecker.
Like pretty good. Cam Bell's pretty good. Like those guys are like the ones that don't get talked about a ton. But
none of those guys have D1 offers that we're talking about.
They're better than everyone else's second tier guys. Like by the gap's big.
Yeah.
And that's what made them more dominant because their stars were, very good, but their core guys, I guess, were better than everybody else's core guys.
Yeah. So sure. 1 through 22 plus the guys that go beyond that, just really, really impressive team. And they put the exclamation point on historic season 13-0. And just kind of an exciting way to finish out the high school football season. Flipping over to B, who also Bennington.
Talk about dominant.
39 straight. It's just unreal. Finished season 13-0 with a 21-0 win over Scott. And it was, they were kind of hanging around for a while, but in the end, they just couldn't find a way to put the ball in. It was 7-0 Bennington at halftime. At that point, there were 60 plays and 214 yards of offense and 10 punts for 405 yards.
Yeah, I said it all year. That Bennington defense is crazy good.
Yeah. 5 of 15 combined third down between the two. And the thing is, like, and I said in the moment, like, the tough thing about Bennington, you just can't, where do you run on them? looking
you
back,
have to try and go north and south.
Yeah, because there's just no way you're going to get the edge. They're so fast, sideline to sideline. But then you run up the middle, and Jack Jansen's there.
Yeah.
So it's not like that's like they're soft
Jack
up the
Jansen,
middle.
They moved him to the nose.
Yeah.
He's an end.
Yeah.
And I guess they 3-man front. They play 3 and 4-man. They rotate around, but normally like he's the end on the 4-man front, and they moved him to nose in a 3-man front, and he was dominating because they like that matchup so much.
Yeah. Better. And in retrospect, that makes what Norris did all that more impressive, running the ball up.
Hey, man, I said 21 points. Norris
almost got
20.
there.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was the only team that came close.
Yeah. And Bennington, again, 21 points in this game. But with 7-0, then KJ Taff had the 36-yard touchdown drive on the first drive.
Big play.
And then nobody scored again until Quinn Archer had a 12-yard touchdown, about 4 minutes and change left in the third quarter. And then he had an insurance touchdown there with 30-yard wheel route early in the fourth quarter. So that was all the scoring. It's more than Bennington needed. The yardage, Scott finished with 194 total yards, a turnover, went 3 of 17 on third and fourth down.
That ain't going to get it.
No. So they had 103 passing yards and 91 rushing yards on 37 carries. That's 2.5 yards per carry against one of the best rushing teams in Class B.
Yeah, that ain't going to.
No. Quentin Archer himself had 31 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown.
He had a great season.
3 catches, 54 yards, and that other touchdown. He
filling for Dylan Mostick, right? Remember, he was way good, and then Archer just came in, and they didn't really miss a beat really at all. I guess defense carried Bennington though.
Yeah,
all year, and that was what they were gonna do. So because you didn't have a bird at quarterback again.
Yeah, so Archer finished season with Class B leading 1,803 yards rushing and 23 total touchdowns, averaged 6.1 a carry.
Yeah.
We talked about that defense. Nick Deo had the pick. Ben Gillen had 9 tackles, 1.5 for loss. He cracked 100 tackles for the season. Kyler Lordson had 10 tackles, had 1 sack. He finished with 1 more tackle than Gillen. Those two neck and neck all season.
2 straight years he's out.
2 straight years as an underclassman, sophomore, junior, over 100 tackles.
He is incredible.
And
his after the game, Coach Leonard, I don't know if people saw it, but Coach Leonard, he said, I don't know if I've coached a better player than him. And I'm like, well, he's a junior.
Yeah. And there was one play where Ben Turman was rolling out, kind of scrambling, trying to find some more. Thought he was going to be able to get rid of the ball, and the closing speed, like he thought he had another step to get rid of it, and no, boom, just shot that, took it, putting him down. Like
that same play on the side, like he just chased down all the way from the opposite side of the field around, like he was blitzing or rushing the quarterback, went all the way around, chased him down, and got it for a loss. And I was like, how did that happen? It's unbelievable.
Pretty special player there. So 464 to 93. Not quite West Side, but still pretty dominant there. Basically 36-7 average on the season. To finish with 39 straight wins now. And again, they're losing their primary playmakers on offense, but
they'll find it.
You got Lordson coming back, and they've replaced guys every single year. So I don't know why next year is going to be any different.
Yeah, they're going to be good. They're humming right along. They don't like to play kids both ways if they can, and they haven't the last 2 years, and it's worked out extremely well for them, which gives kids a break and helps with depth.
And that is a huge advantage for them. But it's also credit to them and for development. And
I will tell you, they practice that, and you're right. You're right on, because I've been to their practices, and they practice. Everybody gets basically the same rep. Like freshmen through seniors get a lot of reps, a lot of drills. There's no standing around unless you're waiting your turn for your rep, but there's no just standing and watching, at least at the beginning of the year, that's what's happening. So everyone's getting the same tackling rep or whatnot. And it's the freshmen they practice everyone together at the same time, obviously on, opposite ends of the field, but it's everyone's getting the same kind of coaching and reps.
I don't care how many athletes you have, how much talent. Like, you don't win 39 straight without doing a phenomenal job as a coaching staff.
Correct.
So credit to them. Again, we've never seen a run quite like this before Class B. And we'll see if they can continue it next year. But in C1, moving on here, Boone Central, who 2 seed there, finished 13-0, took down Wahoo 12-0. And this, man, we thought there wasn't much offense in the B game. This one was so the first 12 drives featured 0 points, 53 plays, 165 yards, 2 interceptions, 10 punts for 361 yards.
It was such a defense.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we thought it was going to be, just defense.
Neither side could find it. And then finally, the dam broke there. 13th drive, 12 play, 53 yards, 2 third and long conversions for Boone Central. And Parker Bohr finished it off with 11-yard touchdown after they moved backwards. They got inside the 10, and then a false start and a tackle for loss, moved him back to the 11, and then Bohr found a hole and got through. And
just the athlete, there's a ton of just solid athletes all over just playing each other. That was the matchup. You knew the lines weren't real different. There was, Boone's a little bigger, but they still, like Wahoo, held their own, played really well. I mean, Boone just, they were built for this year for sure, and that's what happened. Hank Hudson, coach's kid, was phenomenal. 9
tackles, 2.5 for loss, 3 quarterback hurries there. So after that touchdown, next 5, right back to it. Fumble, missed field goal, punt, fumble, punt. So we finally got some points, and then right back to the defense is dominating. Yeah. And then on the 19th drive, Parker Bohr finally broke off a big one, 61-yard touchdown run, 4 plays, 82 yards in total with 5 minutes and change left in the fourth quarter. And that basically sealed it there.
That was the game.
Wahoo finished with 76 total yards, 3 turnovers, and 2 of 12 on 3rd and 4th down.
Yeah.
That's just fantastic defensive performance from Boone Central against a team that had run over everybody, basically. So Parker Bohr finished 25 carries, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. Finished with 2,002 on the season. Wow. Just barely cleared it there.
He got that long run.
Yeah. Just phenomenal career for him. 25 touchdowns on the season. Also 167 yards receiving and 2 more touchdowns. Finished his career with 4,242 yards and 56 touchdowns rushing, 554 yards and 4 touchdowns receiving, 690 yards and a touchdown in the return game, and 2 pick sixes on defense. Yeah, that is a fantastic career for just a terrific player there in C1 there. Caden Stokes led the 11 tackles and a pick, 2 catches, 25 yards. Mentioned Hudson already. So Boone Central finished 483 points on the season. They gave up 63. Nobody topped 14 points against them. So you talked about got to get 21 against Bennington. 14, whatever. Same thing against Boone Central. So credit to them for that. That was we thought that might be one of the most competitive games, and
it was.
It was just maybe not the most aesthetically pleasing offensive game. But
if you like defense, it was competitive.
Yeah.
Which it was, which is fine.
Yeah, tied a 1-score game until the last 5 minutes. So
exactly, it was pretty much what we thought going into it.
Class C2 also pretty much what we thought had a chance to be. Norfolk Catholic back-to-back 12th title in school history, 11th for Jeff Beller. 41-3. And actually the 3 came, Talon Bruja had a pick early and then kicked a 40-yard field goal to go up 3-0.
That's a good kick too.
Yeah.
There's some Ord kickers, remember? Remember the Meyer kid?
Yeah, Keelan Meyer. Went to Nebraska, I believe is that Midland or Doane? One of those two is their kicker there now. But so that's 41-0 to end the game, and that was all in the second and third quarter. Yeah. So that's how dominant Norfolk Catholic was after that initial score. So
they one drive, they were like, okay, Max Hammond, this is your drive. Yeah. You just go ahead and make every play, and he did.
He did. I think one other person touched the ball during that drive, but he But Ord finished 146 yards, 4 turnovers, 1 of 11 on 3rd and 4th down. So again, just defenses were the story of this state tournament. Just if you could not move the ball
outside of the one game.
Yeah. We'll get to that here pretty quickly. But Carter Jansen, 6 of 10 passing, 126 yards and touchdown, and also 66 yards on 12 carries and another score. Leading the offense. Brandon Collars had 14 carries, 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Max Hammond, 7 carries, 28 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had a 35-yard reception. So they just got a bunch of different guys like, all right, your turn. All right, your turn. Spread the love around there. Mason Widener, 11 tackles, 1 for loss, and a pick. Hayden Kelly had 8 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a pick as well. So just, again, another dominant defensive performance there to cap the state title for Norfolk Catholic.
Yeah. Okay, now D1.
Best game of the
the most competitive, the best, whatever you want to say. That's exactly what this was.
Yeah.
Barrett Wilkie was really good.
Yeah, unreal.
On both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and Brecken Schluter was fantastic as well, but in the end,
that's what he does.
Yeah, Stanton had got the ball, got the last score there, so So it flipped around there. Just kind of a wild swing. So it's 42-36 was the final for Stanton over EMF to finish 13-0. There were 6 lead changes. EMF was up 28-18 early in the 4th quarter.
Looked like it was over.
Yeah. And then after a Brecken Schluter touchdown, then 24-0 run in 8.5 minutes. They had a 10-play, 65-yard drive where Wilkie finished off 7-yard touchdown. Pullman got the 2-point conversion. Then they had a pick from Clausen at the EMF 32, and Wilkie scored on the next play, 32-yard run. And then Clausen converted the 2-point conversion. And then they forced a fumble, gave the ball back on a turnover and downs, but EMF immediately fumbled it right back after the stop. And 4 plays, 30 yards. Wilkie hit Hupp for a 26-yard touchdown, and Clausen converted the 2-point chance. So just like that, went from down 10 to up 42 to 28 there. So just crazy swing. Schluter, they went back and scored, but ran out of time. Stanton ran the clock out, and it was a ball game. So just you mentioned Barrett Wilkie, 6 of 10 for 135 yards and 3 touchdowns for the year, 38 carries, 250 yards, and 3 touchdowns rushing. Also had 7 tackles and a forced fumble. So pretty good day at the offense. Mitchell Hupp was his top receiver, 4 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Just a junior.
And 15 tackles.
Did you watch the preseason or like preview?
He's
stuff?
Impressive, yeah.
If you watch the preview stuff that I did with coaches, I had Coach Stoddard on, and I said, okay, tell me about this guy. Yeah. And that was the guy. I was like, hold on. He has 785 receiving yards for an 8-man team.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Like, and you run the ball. Yeah. Like he's very high on him. He's just a junior. Yeah.
Made a couple really impressive plays there. So
Stan should be back again next year.
That's most of their guys are juniors.
Yeah. And their line's pretty good too.
So finished 13-0. Shout out to Brecken Schluter, though, for EMF. 39 carries, 266 yards, 5 touchdowns rushing, plus 10 tackles, including 2.5 for loss. He finished with 1,410 total rushing yards in his postseason run.
In the playoffs.
Yes, which broke Clint Bellina's record, which was D1 and also the all-class record. It's a little different because the 8-man, they get an extra game versus 11-man, but still really impressive. Fortunately, the record did not last long because what happened in the following game.
I was going to say Kyle Cox almost broke that playoff record in one game.
Yeah, it felt like it. But
that was incredible.
Moving on to Class D2, one of the most insane individual performances we've seen.
He touched the ball every single play, but
except for 3.
Yeah, that's insane.
68 plays on offense, or 70 plays because there were 2 passes that were incomplete. 70 plays on offense. He touched the ball for 67 of them.
He had 65 carries
and double-digit tackles. He played the whole way on defense as well.
And just a junior.
Yeah. So Sandhill Sedford, as the 8 seed, pull off the 50-12 win over 2 seed Wynot. Both finished 12-1. total offense was 493 for Sandhill Thedford, 194 for Wynot. So like this was seed Lions go down as an upset, but this was a domination from the lower seed. Wynot had scored a touchdown midway through the first quarter to get the scoring started, and then 56 the rest of the way, and it was because of Kyle Cox, what you mentioned. 65 carries for 486 yards and 6 touchdowns, 10 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and a pick. And it looked like, from where I was sitting in the press box, it looked like he could have had 7 touchdowns.
Yeah,
looked like he went down at the one to give Kobe Higgins the chance. Either he just straight up tripped, or he went down intentionally to give his teammate. I don't know what exactly the plan was there, but
people had
easily
a problem
could have had 7.
with them scoring at the end of the game.
Yeah, and he scored on the final play. I mean, last game, whatever. So Kobe Higgins had 3 carries for 7 yards and a touchdown, and Cox had every single other yard for Sandhill Thedford, and again played the whole way on defense as well.
Never going to see anything like that.
No,
literally, like no, I don't think ever again.
And it wasn't like he didn't break off any long runs. It's like 30 was long or something like it was just
pounding it.
Our line is better than you. We're gonna go carve out this, and he was shift like you saw it planting the foot, cutting. Once he found the hole, he hit it hard. Like it wasn't just like 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We're just giving to him. He was pretty talented with the ball in his hands. So really impressive. Was it like 5'10", $165 or something listed?
He's a big guy.
Yeah. So to take all those hits on offense and defense, and then you interviewed him. He's like, "Yep, basketball practice starts on Wednesday."
Yeah,
I'm like,
he would give the dude a couple days. He had one day off. I was like, "Come on, man, no way."
No. So just fantastic there.
And a long enough bus ride home, he could recover. Bus.
Yeah, and then let me pull it up here. I get the final numbers there for Cox. He pushed his 5-game playoff total to 1,436 yards, which topped the Schluter record from the previous game. And
Tyson Denker was really good.
Yeah, he had the previous D2 record, 1,267 yards. And Cox finished with 2,900 yards rushing, 970 yards passing, 108 yards receiving, and 71 total touchdowns. Fantastic performance there from Kyle Cox, one of the best we've seen in a champion. And you said, what did the coach say about just kind of the game plan and the plan to give Cox the ball every single time?
Go. Yeah,
he said like they saw somebody else do it to them or whatever.
Yeah, So
and it was like, all right, why not? We'll do it too. If it worked for them, then and credit to Cox for being able to handle that. So that was one of the most impressive individual performances we've seen there to kind of finish out the games at Memorial Stadium. Want to mention quickly in the 6-man SEM 21-20 over Hay Springs. Heck of a fall for SEM, winning volleyball and football.
Yeah, doesn't happen very often.
No, and Hay Springs, I believe, actually scored at the end and went for the win and didn't get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So
it was a wild ending.
Yeah, wild ending there. But SEM managed to hold on, got one last stop. Maddox Jones, 22, 100 carries, 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had 15 tackles on defense. So they hit 3 different guys, throw passes, completed 9 of 15 for 115 yards and a touchdown. So that's interesting. Cohen Rohde had 4 catches, 80 yards and a touchdown, plus a pick on defense and 5 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. Hay Springs, credit to Gage Minkin for a phenomenal game, 30 carries, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns and 5 tackles, but 1 2-point conversion short. So 7 championships there, 7 new state title winners.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, everything but the last. Well, I mean, the playoffs normally. I was going to talk about the weather here.
Yeah,
like it's normally we get lucky on that Monday and Tuesday. It's been pretty good, but this was a little different.
Yeah, the playoffs.
This year though, really, it was only one night.
Yeah,
like the week 7, I guess, was that super windy night. Other than that, I thought the weather was awfully pretty good outside of, rain delays.
And we managed
talking like cold and windy
and snow and
like
all that
where
type
weather
of stuff.
Really affected games.
Yeah.
It didn't really happen.
So it's little bit of rain, mostly just cold on both days, a little windy. But
it was pretty windy on Tuesday. It was pretty windy. Yeah.
But not enough to like, all right, we can't do and we can only do one thing. That's what you want to avoid is what from the Bell West side was it, where it's just snow everywhere. You can't, no traction whatsoever.
It was super fun.
It was, but like in terms of just like, hey, best of the best, go out there, show what your talent is. Like that completely changes a game where you can't. There's no cutting. There's no like it's kind of a weird, different kind of football to watch. Wasn't ideal conditions, but it was good enough for everybody to kind of show what they can do. Yeah. So
it was fun.
Fun football season there. I got to see quite a few games there. Not as many as you, but it's able to see quite a few different teams there, and so fun way to close it out there at Memorial Stadium. Any final thoughts on the football season?
No, just other than that, it was good. I mean, it's kind of one of those like we are who we thought they were type of things with the champions, because like Westside was clearly the favorite coming into the season. Bennington was not clearly the favorite, but they were certainly at the top and deserved to be ranked number one. Boone Central was ranked number one in our coaches poll. So that's 3 that were ranked number one in our coaches poll that ended up being number one. I'm talking from the preseason. C2, Norfolk Catholic was number one, ended up being number one. That's 4. And then the 8-man was but Stanton was up there in the top 2 or 3 top 5 every single week throughout the year. So, but the 11-man ones, our coaches poll were right on from the preseason number one to who won it in the end, which is pretty. Yeah,
it seems like you picked some pretty smart coaches to fill out your poll.
Yeah, so guys that pay attention. That's why I do it, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, football season was great. Now we move on to basketball season.
We'll have your preseason coaches bowl here coming out soon. So
that'll be coming. I'm
HurrdatSports.com for that soon. Yeah. If you haven't been following along, go out and check out Mike Sautter's Twitter page. He's been hitting up a bunch of practice
reports. I'm actually going to 2 more today. I got 3 left.
Got to get them knocked out.
Starts. So,
but best place to go get your preview. But we'll briefly touch on some of the top storylines here as the season tips off on Thursday.
Let's go A first. A for me, it's a lot more wide open than it's been.
100%.
Like there's 6-ish teams that you just kind of say any one of them could win it.
The last few years, like
it's been 1 or 2.
There've been 1, 2, 3 teams with like multiple D1 guys at the top.
It was Bell West, Millard North, and then maybe like
somebody else,
Prep or something that can kind of maybe West Side can kind of sneak in there. All those, but this year there is a lot more, I guess, options, if you will.
And I think you give Bellevue West respect. They're still going to be a great team.
Yeah, if
the
I was doing
number
one, I was doing a poll, I would put them number 1 just because 1, they have the best senior.
Yeah.
2, and Jane Jackson. 2, they have the size there. It's a matter of like, can Eldon Turner fill that gap of Josiah Dolzer? Who fills that scoring, assists, all the statistical things?
Jaden Cassio-Jensen going back there. Can he
Steven
be consistent
Polachek,
for them?
Can he score a little more? So Millard North has a ton of depth. They've just play a bunch of guys. They will again.
And bringing back 4 starters.
Right. Prep is going to be really good.
Man,
their size is great.
I went and watched
Dylan Clausen and
Trinell
Parker in the middle are tough because Clausen can step out and hit threes. Trinell can't right now.
And that's the thing about them is like you play 6'8" next to each other up front.
No one else has that.
Clausen can handle it and pass it and shoot it out on the perimeter. And then you take out
shooters too.
Then you take out Parker, give him rest. You slide Clausen down to the 5 and he's a mismatch there as well. Mm-hmm. And you go smaller, go 4 shooters with Clausen. give him a chance to go to work in the post.
Their one question is, can the point guards play consistently enough in big games?
So I got to tell you, like, again, I went to their jamboree. It's Elkhorn North, Class B team, really young Class B team. Right. Obviously, Andy King, the connection there to get that set up. But, man, Torrin Carter-Brown and Marquise Tolliver were both fantastic
they both
in that game.
but they both have to be that for them to be good.
100%.
Because they got shooters. Yep. They're going to be fine there.
Carson Jones
can really shoot.
Is a guy that's
Carney.
Like they can. Yeah, Josh Carney went 5 of 5 from 3 in their exhibit. Like, I don't care who that's against.
They also have depth, like a lot of depth there. So prep is the scary team. Yeah. Like everyone I talked to was like prep. So,
Carter Brown scored efficiently, hit 3 threes, I think 4 assists. And then Marquise Tolliver off the bench as a senior, 7 assists, 0 turnovers, all for 3-pointers. Hit a buzzer beater at the end of a quarter there. 4 points, 7 assists, no turnovers. And if he is getting downhill and spraying that out, making good decisions, like they are going to be really, really hard to beat there.
Another team in this conversation is Gretna. West Side's in that group.
I think that's probably the 5. Like I'd go Bell West, Prep, Millward North, Gretna, West Side. Maybe in that order you can scramble them around a little bit.
I think you can move that around. That's going to be fluctuating, I think, the whole year.
Yeah. Gretna, they've got
their top 4 are real good.
Yeah, bringing back Landon Pekorski, Alex Wilcoxon in the backcourt. Pekorski's been doing it since his freshman year. Yeah. Point guard there, scoring a lot of different ways. Wilcoxon's one of the best straight shooters in the state, who is I think better than you would think on defense as well. He's got really good hands. Alec Wilkins had a really good summer. Adds a little,
Veith,
and Joey Veith coming back after missing last year. Veith is at that 4 spot there. Guy that can step out and knock down shots, can rebound. Good athlete there. Obviously, committed football. South Dakota State, right? So those are the guys coming back. And again, I mean, Veith didn't get a play last year because of back injury, but he's a guy that's been in the program a long time and has played with those guys a lot. So Cade Cook is kind of the swing guy there, the newcomer. He moved in district last year, transfer there from Wahoo.
Huge year for them.
Just played a little bit off the bench. Now he's going to be one of their key players.
Yeah, for sure.
Made a huge leap this past summer. 6'7", kind of a point forward type. Can handle the ball, set ball screens and roll, and then kind of short roll playmaker. Can bring the ball up himself off the rebounds, grab and go type of stuff. So not a true post, but at 6'7" or so, gives them a lot of versatility there.
Bring it up the floor, all those things. Yeah.
So they're going to try to see if they can build out some depth this year. They got some young guys that haven't played. Trevin Wilkins, Alex's brother. I coach him. He'll play some off the bench for them. Chase Doble, Eli Doble's brother, just kind of kind of hustle guy there. Grant Rice Jr., guard that can kind of get downhill and finish a little bit. So
Jansen's a huge body.
Calvin Jansen, the football player.
They'll use him.
6'6", 250, whatever he is. Big boy in the middle there. So they got some options there. Just not a lot of guys that have played a lot. Westside's going to
be pretty good, too. I think they're going to play a lot faster. I think. Just size is the question, and CJ in shooting, can they consistently open it up a little bit to shoot from the outside?
Bringing back 4 starters and CJ Mitchell, Caleb Benning.
I think
Kevin Stubblefield.
People forget that they made the semifinals last year. They were a semifinal team last year, and I think they're getting afterthought right now. Yes, in the semis, they got blown out by Bellevue West, who was obviously awfully pretty good. But, they returned 4 starters from a semifinal team, and they're like, oh, yeah.
I think the question they've got to show is, consistent. Can they shoot consistently?
They need to be able to shoot it from outside consistently. But
Ricky Lofton is a guy who
having him back. Fully healthy.
And I think that kind of state tournament performance for him was huge. His confidence, I can be a dude for these guys in this system.
But these guys, so how much basketball in big games has CJ Mitchell, Caleb Benning played? Kevin Stubblefield was the year we did the most improved player. He was the guy. So can he take another step is the key. They lost Tate Ovid in his double-digit scoring points, but they'll make that up somewhere. And I think they'll play a lot faster.
Yeah. And so, Tyson Oddbody stepping in there, probably at that 5 spot.
And Tyson can step out and shoot it a little bit. They could go 5 guards too.
Yeah. And Emery Geddick's a young guy off the bench, give him a little bit of size.
Athletic, long.
Donnie Barfield is injured right now, but he's another young guy once he's healthy. Maddox Anderson, senior, that played off the bench for them last year.
Some solid minutes.
So
I don't know. I think Westside's going to be right in the mix.
Yep.
And I think people are not talking about
again that top 5. You can kind of slide that any order. Wouldn't be surprised.
Then you have like your Kearney, Pius. We don't need to break down all of them. Like Kearney, Pius, Southwest, Southeast, maybe.
You got the OPS with Central and Bryan that have had transfers.
Central's going to be a lot better too.
Yeah, again with Kevon Newsom and Daleron Thomas and Deshaun Prince coming in there. Yeah, and they've got size with Daleron with Devin Holman and Elijah Wayne.
That trade at point guard they made was pretty good.
Yeah, so Daleron there coming over from North. Kearney, you mentioned they've got Jacob Weber coming in as from Arizona, out of
third
state
option right now.
Sophomore, but can shoot to go with
Ben Johnson's really good.
And they've got size. They've got wings.
Asher
they've got
Endorf. Good.
Turner Bertrand's big kid. And they've got a little bit of shooting there since, in the backcourt as well. Carter Lee coming back there, really good athlete, football player, just real tough at that point guard spot. So they got a lot of pieces. It's a well-balanced team. Pius bringing like their top 6 or so is going to be really solid. They got really good guard play to go around. They just got to find consistency. They've got guards that can play. Now they got to be more consistent this year than they were next year if they want to make a leap. But Trayson Anderson, they're in the middle, one of the best bigs in the state, obviously. And anytime you got one of the best bigs, like that's a leg up than you have on most teams. So that's Pius in there. Papio South with Bryson Ball, the leap that he's been making, continues to make. I think he had like 24 and 10 in their jamboree game, whatever
Reese
it was.
Kircher's game.
Reese. They got a lot of guard. They got Wes Frost, Monte Giddings transferring in there. Some more depth in the backcourt there. Don't have a ton of size. They got Jaden Herrera, Dade Larson, guys kind of.
They're a year, like next year, they're going to be the team-ish to beat. I think one of actually.
Yeah, and then Bryan, similar to Central, where had some transfers in. Their top 5 or 6 are really good. Can they find some depth?
Key for Bryan is Rylan Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Can he take some pressure off of Bynum, especially in the post and stuff like that? And and that's going to be and Amir, like his consistency. Amir Martin.
That's going to be
Amir
huge.
Martin being able to consistently play hard all the time. And like that's going to be big for them.
Shot selection, got to improve in that regard. But he's got a little bit more help around him now in terms of the backcourt with some transfers in there. So don't have as much pressure. Maybe you can let the game come in a little bit more. But and then you mentioned all those Lincoln teams we're trying to see.
Southwest,
Pius,
Southeast.
There's a lot of like
North Star's going to be good.
They're going to be really young, but they got some talent. And Jordan Castor is a young guy that Jaquez Fowler, it's freshman. They're going to play big role for them right away.
They get Bellevue West to start.
That's kind of an interesting.
He's really athletic.
Yeah. I mean, there's like curious to see what happens in Lincoln. I kind of put Pius there because they have the most continuity. Everybody else, they had guys kind of shuffling around. So you're like, all right, how are the new pieces going to fit in there? At Southwest, Southeast,
Frager, and then they have young, small guards, and it'd be interesting.
But Southeast, Southwest, Lincoln East could any order. Like you see those teams kind of finishing.
Lincoln East is always in the conversation because because Coach Campbell.
Yeah, and they got Carter Mick coming back. You got Quinn Weatherholt transferring in there. So
Carter Mick.
My guy was the other Carter, although I like Carter too. Class B. I mean, I think you're probably looking at Scott, Elkhorn, Crete, Norris, maybe Roncalli probably as the top 5 kind of. I mean, Scott.
We'll see when Bennington gets going.
They're in that mix as well.
Bennington Wahoo is an opening game.
Yeah, that's interesting. 100%.
Norris goes to Waverly. Interesting rivalry.
Crete goes to Bennington.
Yeah.
I mentioned Crete there. So they got size coming back with
Elkhorn North after it could be maybe a B team in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean they'll be much better second half team than first half, but I mean they're jamboree. They started 3 sophomores, a freshman, and a junior.
Also playing.
But yeah, so Scott. I mean,
Scott's gonna be good.
They go 6'8", 6'8" in the front court again. They just graduate all these giant kids, and they have more coming in.
Like 6 to 8 of their key guys played football in the state championship. So,
and Kyle Cannon stepping into a bigger role last year. Last year, yep. Dylan Van Dyke. Elkhorn, they've got size with Cole Peterson, who might be the best true big in Class B, best shot blocker at least. And they've got some experienced guard play there. Colin Comstock kind of leading the way. Charlie Lansky is a good athlete at the, with size next to Peterson. Crete, they've got Ben Ayler's size again. Justice Gardner, 6'6" there.
Crete's gonna be good again.
Aiden McDowell coming back, one of the most talented scoring guards in the class as well. And then Norris, just they had a bunch of sophomores and freshmen that played last year that are now freshmen and or sophomores and juniors, a year older. Barrett Boziger has made a big leap. You got Chris Garner Jr. had a great freshman year. You got Josh Bornschlegel at kind of a long point guard. You've got a bunch of guys there that again, it's another still young team, but they're going to get better as the season plays out. And McCoy Folkert, Alex Small, our sophomores. Folkert's hit the game winner to send them to state, and then Small started all year, multi-sport guy, defender. So
they're really deep.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's gonna.
Yeah, I mean they've got a guy, really Evan Greenfield, as a freshman.
He's coming.
He's going to be, but
they don't need him right away.
Yeah,
so they can ease him into it. He's going to be good.
He'll be a name to know in coming years as well. So yeah, it's kind of a look at Class B. Don't want to rattle on too long here. We'll hit on the other classes. We'll hit on girls basketball as the season plays out. I think I mean, had a lot graduating on the girls' side there. I think Elkhorn North and Scott's going to be it again in B. Most likely.
In A, it'll be a lot of teams.
Bellevue West will be right there.
No clear separation in A.
Yeah. Bellevue West has a lot coming back if they can find a little bit more consistency.
On the girls' side, probably like Miller North, Bellevue West. I put Pius up there. I think Pius is going to be okay.
Yeah, they're bringing a lot back as well. Millard West maybe
Millard West is definitely in the conversation.
So it'll be fun, to follow along. We'll see kind of everything get started on Thursday. Mike will be at somewhere Wednesday. I'm going to try to get to some games.
Thursday.
What I say?
Wednesday.
Yeah. No games Thursday. Wednesday. I'll try to get to some games this weekend, and we'll dive into it next week with games under our belt to digest.
Yeah, sounds good. See you next week.